Hi there, Lawrence Allen, founder and director of Think Marketing here. Thanks again for taking the time to watch one of our Marketing in Volatile Times or MiVT videos. And today I'll be highlighting strategy number 8 of 10. Of course, if you want to check out the other 7 strategies or any of the case studies associated with them in the series, then you'll find all the videos here, or you can get everything in one place in the MiVT guide, which I'll link to below or in the comments. As always, I'd love to hear what you've thought about this or any of the other content. So please feel free to give it a like or leave a comment. Alternatively, you can get in contact direct to go into this any of these details a little bit more thoroughly. Or if you just want to pass comment, that's fine too. And I'll include some details at the end of this particular video. So far, however, in the MiVT series, we've talked a lot about understanding market volatility quickly and then adapting to meet the changing needs and wants of your clients. Of course, we will continue to advocate that. However, we may already have what we need in our current marketing, and I'll look to explain that a little bit more in this video. But as Theodore Roosevelt, the 26th President of the United States, suggested, do what you can with what you have where you are. And that's really what strategy number 8 is all about. It's of course completely understandable that if your business is slowing down or being negatively impacted, like through COVID, then the first thing you want to do is pivot and try something new, which is of course what we've been advocating. The problem with that, of course, is that one, time, the time it takes to actually figure out what will be effective and then to execute it, and money, i.e. the associated cost with that an analysis period and also the executions. And to add insult to injury, the longer it takes to get into market, the more chance there is of further disruption. As such, it makes a lot of sense to look at our current and past marketing before we try something new. So we don't just go into that, new shiny magpieism of just going straight to something new. This can often also buy us a little bit of time whilst we properly address the volatility. So strategy number 8 is all about not throwing out the baby with the bathwater, the baby being the marketing and the bathwater being the volatile period. If you want to change or adapt, this could be more about how you position your business, or it could be about the different attributes of your business and making one shine out more than another, or even it could be down to pricing or promotional changes or whatever it might be. It doesn't always mean that we have to go through wholesale marketing or model change to actually re-engage with customers. And it's better to start with what you've got and actually build from there. Great example of this was when at the beginning of the COVID crisis, when the Australian government first announced social distancing requirements and also the changes to the number of people that could gather at an internal venue. The first thing McDonald's Australia did is they reverted back to some old drive-through messaging and advertising. So what they did is they used some existing content and they got ahead of their competitors and demonstrated that you could still actually go to their restaurants whilst people were still trying to figure out, what it is they needed to do. And it just goes to show that it doesn't matter how big you are as a business, you can always change to face a new opportunity quickly. So in terms of then how to put that into action, well, really there's some assumptions there, mainly that you the listener have some kind of marketing program in place with a few different marketing pieces, both some that are current and both some that are historic. If you don't, then maybe have a look something more about the Think Marketing Officer. I'll talk about that in a moment. But if you do, here's how to put it in action. So first of all, you need to take a functional look at the issues. So during a volatile period, it's often difficult to find out what the longer term impacts and solutions are that you're going to need. And that's what we talked about last week in strategy number 7. However, in the short term, we can address some of the functional issues that clients might be facing. So in that Macca's example, they weren't addressing the wider problems of COVID and how to get Macca's through that. Rather, they were demonstrating that customers could still use their drive-through. They would have used, they did use current advertising slots and recycled recent ads, which meant very little extra cost and execution time. So at the highest level, then have a look at the basics of what you can address for your clients first. Also conduct a marketing audit. So pull all of your marketing into one place and assess its functionality. Some people do that by creating a war room. They'll literally print out everything they have on their marketing and they'll stick it up and start grouping it into different topics. And that should also obviously include things like your lists, your media spaces, what you've purchased, what you're doing on social media, etc. Then number 3 is all about creating assessment criteria. So based on the issues you've identified in part 1 and then the available materials you have in point 2, then you can rank them from high, i.e. the most relevant or the easiest or the cheapest to adopt, to low, the least relevant, the most difficult to change and the most expensive to adapt. This should give you a clearer understanding of how quickly you can actually address client issues with current or past marketing whilst you're putting together additional marketing programs if they're required at all. Speed to market here is key, and the next few points are all about that. So I'm going to do a separate video as I'm trying to keep within that golden 10-minute window of these videos. But it's a common catchphrase that we all use, speed to market, but it's incredibly important. Under normal circumstances, it's obviously all based around how or about beating competitors to the market, but during volatile times, it's all about addressing needs before they change. Obviously, the nature of volatility means disruption. So once we identify an opportunity, we've got to kind of act really quickly, or we risk that opportunity will actually change again. The first business to address customer issues face obviously less competition and can potentially generate better or higher profit margins. So, getting fresh or relevant marketing executed quickly attracts audiences ready to become customers and actually helps current clients increase their spend. One of the ways in which you can do that is to test and learn. So part of the speed to market issue is that we can't always address every single business concern. So we can get somewhat caught up in, do we delay and test and then we risk further changes, or do we go straight to market without full diligence? And here we're really talking about the latter, i.e. going straight to market, as we can actually test and learn in the market. And we call that either split testing or A/B testing, where we create 2 different versions of the same piece of content with changes to a single variable, and then we see which ones performs better, and we're constantly adapting those in market. Another thing we can do with that is we can think about creating a minimum value product, or an MVP. And another area of speed to market is really all about that minimum value product. And conceptually, what we mean there is what we produce should meet the minimum requirements of customers, not the maximum, and with the least effort, i.e. it's the quickest to produce. From that point, we can then iterate on the MVP to improve it as required. So the key premise is the idea that you produce something that you can offer to customers quickly and observe their actual behavior in a test and learn type environment. So I mentioned, what do you do if you don't have any marketing in place? Well, that's actually much more common than you'd think. There's plenty of businesses who do the occasional bit of tactical marketing, but without real directional planning. And that can mean that they get caught quite flat-footed, especially during volatile times. As such, we've developed a cost-effective program to offer businesses a one-stop shop of marketing structure, know-how, and methodologies based on our 20 years of experience working across some of the most iconic marketing agencies, creative business consultancies, and also corporates. So if that is something that interests you, go to our website, www.think-moa.com.au, and click on affordable marketing, or go to the services area and look at the TMO. There's plenty of other information on the site as well, but obviously we're speaking to that specific area. Also, do have a look at our resources pages as well. There's lots of information on there, and it also includes a link through to our blog. The blog's a great resource, not just for MiVT or TMO information. There's also a lot of content there around different marketing strategies and different sort of content. As mentioned before, though, to bring this all into a succinct view, I have produced a guide which is designed to give you those 10 actionable strategies that you can implement today. So you can download that again below or in the comments. And of course, if you want to speak to me directly, if you have any specific questions, or you want to go a bit deeper on this particular topic or any of the other videos, or even if you just want to use this as a sounding board, then you can get in touch directly via my mobile or via email, which is on screen now, or even social, and the best ones are either LinkedIn or Facebook. Okay, I hope you've enjoyed the video, but most of all, we hope you found it useful in some way. And if you had, please give the video a like. Again, would love to hear what you thought, so please do leave a comment or connect with me here. Thanks again for watching, and don't forget to have a bit of fun with your marketing today.